dear listeners, and welcome to episode 4 of ManWa on Headphones. Well, today I'm going to talk on a topic that's not really something I usually indulge in, that's current affairs. But a lot has been happening around us, so much that I don't think any of us can avoid discussing the news anymore. We have heard some mishaps, we have heard some really helpless tragedies, we have heard wars, terrorist attacks, a lot in the last 4 months, right? Back to back. So one fine day, very, very recently, me and my family members were sitting and discussing all these current affairs. And every time these discussions happen, I end up thinking, right, that why is it that even in this day and age, we need to throw a punch to settle something? Right, like how can some of us become really profound and philosophical while others are still stuck in time somewhere, right? Or still manage to just jump back to some old era centuries ago, right? Or 50, 60 years ago, where we were very basic and very barbaric in general. So this poem is on the same lines, right? It starts with a very, very funny statement called buzzed like a bee, which basically means that I'm not in my senses, right? So, or you're not, whoever is buzzed like a bee is not in their senses. So that's the premise I'm using, or that's what I'm trying to hint at, right? With this starting line, let's begin. And of course, let me know what you think. And I know that on some of the apps, you guys are not able to comment. I got a feedback. So please go ahead and rate the show and comment. If you can't comment, then follow it, because that's the only way I am able to interact with you. Like, I can talk and talk and talk, but the only way I get a response from you is through these ways. So yeah, they might be restrictive on some applications, you might be able to comment on the others. I always look forward to how are people responding to the episodes. Let's go ahead. The poem is named Buzzed. Buzzed like a bee, yet I'm not the one throwing bombs all over the world. Fuzzy is all that I have learned since I learned what learning means. Intellectually, I feel so ahead, as we, as a world, have truly grown with time. Yet time and again, with much disdain, we see the barbaric nature within us resurfacing. And just like that, in a news flash, we are back to the time of bombings and fights. And just like that, with a second's turmoil, we are found siding with what benefits us the most. Not a single power rooting to stop the rudimentary. Not a single leader wanting peace over profit. Not a single care given to the life we otherwise hold so dearly. Not a single step taken back in a moment of self-realization. How forward are we truly, posing threats to our own race? How much is truly grown if we settle disputes in the same old ways? And what good has science done us if it doesn't make us think twice about using age-old techniques? How much have inventions helped us if at the first sign of danger, we go back to our old ruthless ways? Is all the wisdom in the world only limited to make the regular life easy? Is all the growth as humans only remembered unless a disagreement arises? And if we always have to go back to square one on every single blocker in our road, then tell me if they are wrong at all. The ones who in the name of traditions live the same life for centuries on. If I look at how countries handle conflicts, if I look at what happens in every election across the world, if I open my eyes wide to notice, to note down, I only have my head to put down. For I have fought long and hard for equality, for modern thoughts, and I have cursed traditions more often than not. But I wonder if I'm disrespecting honesty, refuting the obvious. For people who choose not to grow, at least know that they are not the ones pretending. While we sit here in support of science and cover up our ears when the bomb blasts are too loud. Thank you for listening.